Hello, my beautiful butterflies, and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, welcome. I'm Tamara. So, as promised, today we are doing Ireland. We are talking about my trip. As much as I can remember, I wrote down a bunch of notes. So if I'm looking down over here, it's because I'm looking at my notes. But other than that, you're going to get ready with me today. I'm going to show you some videos. I'm going to show you some photos. And we're just going to do it. So sit back, relax, and let me tell you about my trip to Ireland. You're going to start off with the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer, the OG. So Ireland it's just such a beautiful, beautiful place. Dublin is obviously a city, so it's not metropolitan though. It's kind of a mix between, because there aren't skyscrapers really or anything like that. Or that many, at least not where we were. So it's kind of like the neighborhood area of, let's say, DC or Philadelphia, if you guys know what I'm talking about. So it rained a lot in Dublin. How do I even go about this? Okay, so after last week's video, I really realized that skin tint was too dark. Some people said, oh, it looks great on you, and others like, no, it's too dark. And especially if once my tan goes away, it's gonna be even darker. So yesterday I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to the city. Let's try it out. I put it on my face. I'm like, there's no way that's gonna work. So I got the lighter version, the shade 120, and we're going to use that today. So Thursday was pretty much like just getting our bearings and getting our hotel room and blah, 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 blah. Alright, so the Maybelline Superstay 24-hour skin tint in the shade 120. Oh, that is so much better. Did I just drip? I feel like I just dripped. I heard a drip, but I don't know. So we went out to our first pub. I had my very first Guinness, and it was an eventful day for a lot of people. Not for me. I think I fell asleep in the hotel. I was just so tired. I didn't sleep on the plane. So, and then Friday morning, we really didn't have anything planned, and then all of a sudden, we realized that it was going to be the only day that when we're in Dublin for us to go to the Guinness World, or the distillery, which I don't really think it actually, whatever. So Friday morning, we went to the Guinness Distillery morning, and it's very like Disneyfied. It's a self-guided tour. It's got a lot of, it kind of reminded me of like a store, like a place that you visit in Disney, like one of those like rides where you're seeing how the things are made, but like not really. Or like if anyone's been to Hershey Park, kind of like that, but without the chocolate and the smell of beer. So we went into a tasting room, and we were able to properly taste a Guinness, which actually has a lot of chocolate notes to it, which is really kind of interesting. And then we got to learn to pour our own pints. Today we're using the CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer in the shade Classic Ivory. So my brother-in-law, my sister, my mom, my brother, and my dad, obviously my nephew, did not learn to pour a pint. And I may not have done it like 100% correctly, but I mean, I think I did a pretty good job considering I've never done a beer pour like that before. And then afterward, so whoever poured the most perfect, beautiful pint got like that. So you're entitled to 2 free beers when you buy tickets to this museum. You get one for the pint that you pour, and then you get another one when you go up to like the window bar on the top floor. But also, if you pour the perfect pint, then you get the one that's been poured by the instructor as well. So then technically one person got 3. I'm gonna make sure that my hands are not dirty when I show you this. This is mine. Hopefully I'm allowed to show it to you, but this is mine. And it was a very fun, interesting day. Setting powder under my eyes. Then we went to this museum called the Epic Museum, which has to do with Irish immigrants and immigrants, I think mostly immigrants though, and how Ireland's culture has sprung up in different parts of the world without us really knowing. So, fun fact for all y'all. Does anybody know why Rihanna chose Fenty as her makeup line? It's because that is her Irish side of her family. I didn't know that. Guys, we're gonna do a little bit of a bold today, and I apologize if this video is long, but you guys wanted Ireland, so I'm gonna give you Ireland. Also, weird fun fact about Ireland, there is like a burrito shop on almost every single corner in Dublin. They love their burritos. I do not know why, but they do. And then Saturday, my dad decided to take us on this walk, like a self-guided walking tour in the pouring rain on Saturday. And we pretty much stopped at like one area, but it was this really cool arch. It had people's names who died in past wars carved into the like archy part of it. And then if you looked on one side of the actual arch structure, there was like bullet holes or in them. It was very, very, very cool and interesting. So, okay, so then it was like, again, it was pouring rain and my nephew needed to eat. So we went into this mall that was across the street and I decided, hey, let's go find out, you know, what type of makeup and whatever is in Ireland. So their main pharmacy is called Boots over there. And looking around, I pretty much saw every single thing that we have here. The only difference is that Makeup Revolution has, if I repeat anything from my last video, I apologize. I don't remember what I put in and what I cut. They have Makeup Revolution has a different line called Double X. I don't think I've ever seen it here. I couldn't really like look at it, but I also can tell you that it was more expensive than the regular Makeup Revolution stuff, which I mean can be a little bit pricey, but it was like their normal, but they also have nail polishes too, which was actually interesting. And then, so we went in, so while we're traveling to the mall, I see a sign that says T blank Maxx, but it's not TJ Maxx, it's TK Maxx. Because apparently they have another store there that's like TJ something. So I went in, I'm like, let's see what they have in their makeup selection. Guys, I saw about 10 Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde palettes in the security thing, so they never were tampered with. I picked one up, like angel bells or like that noise was coming out of my head. I wanted it so bad. I wanted to bring it home for you so bad, but I couldn't. Because, okay, so you know TJ Maxx is supposed to be discounted, so it was 40 euros, equating to about $50, which makes it not that much discounted. And as much as I wanted to purchase it and bring it home, it's discontinued. So I don't like using things that are discontinued on my channel because then you can't get them either. But I really wanted it, but I didn't get it. And I didn't even like film in any like places where they had makeup. I was so stupid. I wasn't really paying attention. We're gonna try out the Delightful Dahlia today. I don't know why, but I'm feeling a little funky. So this is like part of that other one, like the Holy Hibiscus one that I have with the pink and the yellow. That series of eyeshadows. Oh, it's by Profusion. Right, I forgot about that. Okay, so we're gonna go very lightly in with Rainfall. I don't remember the last time I wore blue eyeshadow. After the mall, we went to a museum, an archaeological museum that is famous for these people called the Bog People. So what Bog People are mummified people, but they were in an actual bog, you know, like a cranberry bog, but with no cranberries in it, obviously. And some of these people were, well, all these people were brutally murdered, but the amount of like intactness that they are was insane. There was one that was in like the fetal position, but you can see all of their toe bones. And then there was one that was like cut off at the stomach at one where he died, and you can see where he was in like the richness like level of things, because his nails were so neat and manicured. They still looked it. It was so weird. And there was one guy who apparently also was more on the wealthier side and had whatever some sort of like hair gel equivalent to back then was, like the Iron Age people. And his hair was in some sort of like mohawky thing when he died. And his hair was still there. Red. Orangey red hair. Full head of hair. This is a very interesting eyeshadow. I'm not really sure what this is about. Next, we're gonna do... Alright, I'm gonna just try and do a little bit of the purple, the bloom. I just want to see what happens with that. That's very pigmented. Okay, so that was a very interesting museum, along with just seeing how people were able to, like, how they were so innovative with things. This is a very dark look today. Just so interesting how innovative people were back then. That was Saturday. So then Sunday we all left to go to this beautiful town called Dungarvan, and I swear I was in a Bob Ross painting. That's how green and luscious and beautiful this place is. All right, we're gonna do very lightly go in with the True on the corner here. Dungarvan was green It was luscious. It was just so like majestic in a way. And the history there is just so like present everywhere you go. So in Dungarvan, there's this like square that very much reminded me of Bullock from Shrek. They have a castle there, like in the middle of the square. There was an actual like castle called Dungarvan Castle. Was never open ever while we were there. I'm gonna go in with my ColourPop Super Shot. We went to a beach one day. Well, obviously, I think because I got tan. Oh yeah, I got tan at a beach. But this beach was full of rocks, not really sandy. The seaweed was like laying on top of the rocks in a very interesting way. It kind of reminded me of like Arendelle, like when the trolls came out. Also, the way that some of the grass was like laying on these rocks, it kind of looked like a man that was balding on top. It was actually kind of funny. And then there was a cave on this beach that was very much resembled the cave that like Tom Hanks stayed in Castaway. And so we're like, well done! Well done! It was so funny. And then we got to go see how crystal was made and how it's designed and stuff. It was very, very, very cool. So there was this really old bridge that we went over. There's these little restaurants along like the river, and then there's like a whole town, and it's so breathtakingly beautiful. And it's really one of those things that you wouldn't believe is actually real unless you're there, because again, it belongs in a Bob Ross painting. That's how green it is. Okay, so one thing that I learned about in Ireland is that they love ketchup, and they don't just love ketchup, they love Heinz ketchup. To the point where there was a commercial that exhibited people's love for Heinz ketchup, people stealing it off of people's room service carts, people dipping sushi into their ketchup, ice cream with their ketchup. They love their ketchup. It's not Heinz, it's not ketchup, according to them. So then, on Wednesday, we went to the Jameson Distillery. Yes, that Jameson Distillery. Yes, that Jameson. The mascara that I used was a Milani highly rated anti-gravity mascara. So we're going in with the Hard Candy Selfie Universal Cheek Tint first. And so we went to the Jameson Distillery. It was very cool to see how they had to transport the barley and all that stuff up these like flights of stairs. They were like, they weighed tons. And it was just so interesting to see the history of it. And then we got to go in to where they keep all their casks of Jameson, and the smell that was like permeating throughout the entire like cellar room. It's actually called angel share because the air, eventually the Jameson will start to evaporate a little bit, and whatever gets evaporated is called angel share. So it was just so cool to see. It smelled so good. And then afterwards, we went to a museum that was about these 137 passengers on the Titanic that left from this particular town on the Titanic. And I'm going over the cheeky tint with the CoverGirl Cheekers in Pink Candy. Just doing a little bit more to give it a little bit more of a pop. And then we went to some castle ruins one day, which were beautiful. We went to this watchtower in Waterford where they make the crystal. And it went from being a defense tower to an attack tower to a prison to another, again, I think attack tower, back to a prison. And now it's a museum. These steps were so steep. I really thought I was gonna like die or something, but it very much reminded me of Game of Thrones. So the resort that we stayed in was so cute. We all had our own individual houses, and it was just we're all living in this like neighborhood together. Half of the people were my uncle's family, but that's a different story. They had like a local restaurant on site, and it overlooked the ocean. Oh, right. So one thing I learned is that if the cows were sitting down, it means it's about to rain. And they were sitting down a lot. Friday night, we had the family reunion. I'm going to put a little bit more on of the ColourPop here. And then I think I'm actually going to use one of the shimmer shades, not the turquoise one, because I really do not want to put glitter glue on. I'm going to take Spring here. It's a shimmer shade here. Saturday we just hung out. I'm going to put this let's see what this looks like. We're gonna put that right here. Ooh. Okay. Let's like blend that out a little bit more if I can. Saturday we just hung out at the resort because we had already returned our car, so we really couldn't go anywhere. And then Sunday we went back to Dublin, where bought a whole bunch of souvenirs. And this again, I don't remember if I told you this in the beginning of the video, but so many places with like the architecture reminds me so much of Diagon Alley from Harry Potter. I know it's British, but still. And so I took some pictures of like where it looks like Diagon Alley, and there's a statue there. I can't remember her name. It was like Mary something, and apparently if you rub her chintas, then it'll bring you good luck. Let me tell you, this statue is all black. Well, not black, but like I guess it's, I don't even know what to call the type of stone it is, but it's a darker stone, but her boobs, gold from being rubbed off. Gold. And then we came home. Lips, we're just gonna keep it simple. So we're just gonna use my favorite NYX lip oil in Supermodel. It was a lot of fun. I'm glad I went, and I'm hoping that the photos and videos that I show you will maybe influence you to go. So yeah, that was my Ireland trip in a nutshell. It went by so fast. And I look forward to going back again without so many people. But if you like watching Get Ready With Me videos, dupes, tricks, tips, hacks, first impression reviews, is it worth it videos, speed reviews, I don't know if I just mentioned that, all that jam, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and bell button down below so you can be alerted as to when I post new videos, which is every Tuesday and Friday. I look forward to seeing you again, my beautiful butterflies. And this was fun. I'm glad I got to like retell my trip, and I hope it was worth the wait. Everything I'm wearing will be listed down below, as usual, in the description. I do make a small commission. It will help a lot to grow my channel. It'll help a lot to grow. It'll just help. So please don't hesitate to do that. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys in my next one. I love you, and this was fun. Thanks. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.